recorder on the computer, not on the cloud. So thanks you guys for getting on. I'm so happy to see people here. This is not like a call of a presentation style of like I have an agenda and slides to share or anything like that. This call was scheduled just as a, hey, we should chat. We should get on and touch base and just get a feel for how everybody's doing, share ideas. I know like a lot of you guys did the Team Cup last month, and one of the things I really loved in listening to the Brendon Burchard call that you earned when you hit Success Club is he shared how doing these power masterminds where you share what are some of the things you're doing lately that are bringing you success, like what are some of the positive habits that you've set. And I was like, oh, I really love that's like a really good idea framework for leadership calls and things like that, of just share some of the changes that you've made that are bringing about positive changes. So we set the call before leadership, and then leadership happened, and there's all of these changes and announcements and things of that nature. And I know that that is something Carl went live about in the Beachbody Champions page. And then we do have, I just now announced it in the team page, but there's going to be a leadership recap call on Wednesday. I do intend to go into the team page and share. I initially was thinking I would do that yesterday, and then I just started getting all of these questions in my inbox that I didn't have the answer to. And I was like, maybe I need to research this a little bit more so I can be prepared to answer some of these questions, because I know all of the leaders still, even though we heard the presentation, there are some of those little tiny details that were like, oh, they didn't discuss that. So this morning I've been kind of researching more on that and getting the clarification. I know Kim Reyes has asked some really good questions, and so that kind of helped me to get better prepared to then go live in the team page. And so that part will come. I am happy to address questions first with you guys and just kind of see how are you feeling. See, were you able to tune in for the call with Carl yesterday, the national wake up call? See the posts that were made in the team page. Let me know like questions that you may have, any of those things of that nature, with the awareness that there will be a recap coming. And we'll kind of start off with that and then move into a update, sharing wins that are working and things of that nature. So first off, questions regarding some of the changes. No questions. All right. So I think maybe I'll do a little recap of some of the things that maybe were not, I haven't shared in the team page yet. So as you guys know, one of the things I shared in there is that Beachbody, the name is going away. It's going to be Body. So that's like a big shift. Also, they are merging Beachbody On Demand and Body together. So what that means is in March, moving forward, that will be the only thing you're able to sell subscription for fitness platform wise. You won't be able to sell Beachbody On Demand by itself coming up in March. One thing that's important to know with that is that what people have, they will continue having access to what they paid for. So that was kind of like a big question I kept getting over in my inbox over the weekend was, what about me? I just barely renewed in Beachbody On Demand. Am I going to be forced into an upgrade come March? You will not. You will continue getting what you paid access for until like that ends. And then at that point, the only thing we have to sell will be called Body. It will still house all of the programs like P90X, Insanity, all of those things are not going away. It will just be merged into Body. They are doing Body blocks. That's not a new thing. If you've been using Body, you've already seen that, but they're leaning into that to make it so that there's, still going to be the lives like that you can tune in for each week, where you can sign up to do a class with Shaun T and so forth. And then they're moving that into calendars that they'll be focusing on. They kind of gave us an example, like a beginner block, a bike block, or an all body block, where every Monday is cardio, for example. Tuesdays are strength, upper strength workouts. Wednesday is core, Thursday cardio, Friday strength. So they'll have a structure of the monthly programs that you follow this along. So, you know, the pushback of, well, I like following the program, so I'm not getting in every day wondering what to do. Well, you're still following a structure, and the structure is working all parts of your body and allowing in that time for you to have the rest. And so kind of what a body block is 3 weeks of doing the strength training or the cardio, and then 1 week at the end of the month that is rest or restoration. And if any of you guys are runners, you know that, like, when you're following a schedule for preparing for a half marathon, they have you run, and then that last week right before your race day, you are recovering, you're pulling back, so that come rest day or run day, you can be performing at your very best. And they shared that analogy at leadership when they were talking about the body blocks, because he just kind of honing in that every month there needs to be that rest week where you're doing more yoga, more restorative workouts, so you don't burn your body out. And so the body blocks will be centered around having that rest and restoration in there. As far as paying per month for a body, they'll still have those options, as I understand it, of annual memberships or monthly memberships, but it will only be body. They will have actual suggestions of workouts. Yes, it will be a calendar that says, do this workout, you click on it, this workout, do it, you click on it. And so it will still be a specific structure. So those will be the body blocks every single month following a program, but all of those workouts were at one point a live workout, right? So you still have those options of getting in and doing whatever you want, or getting in and every week, every single day, doing a live workout. You know, like you schedule that, you get on live. I know a lot of people love that. And then you also have a structure where you can get in and every day following cardio, then upper strength, core, lower strength, and so forth. So those are what those body blocks are. And definitely, yes, if you have not been following body blocks, I encourage you to kind of get in there and explore that. And then what the super blocks are. So one of the big focuses that they're wanting to make with Beachbody is to simplify things, and just, you know, they got that, they heard us, they listened to us when we're like, man, there's a lot of launches happening. And I feel like I'm always preparing for a new program launch, doing it while also preparing for the next one and creating content, making sure. And I know we've all felt that, because we on this call, like about this time last year, we're like, okay, we need to figure something out. We're all overwhelmed doing launch groups. So that's kind of why we did that Beachbody Insider Info group page, right? Was because we're like, let's just create one group and then always talk about the new launches in there in one place and not have to recreate it over and over again. One of the statistics that they shared at leadership is how they could see that the only people who are really participating in these new program launches were veteran coaches. That, like, new coaches were just overwhelmed, likely just didn't even know what to do and tuned out, like just didn't participate in it. And so they, you know, it was just recognizing that people are overwhelmed. And so they're still going to have new program launches. And this is a clarification I still need to get, as I understand it. And Erin and Lauren, please correct me on it, about 2 a year, right? That will be separate programs outside of body blocks, right? Okay. So there will still be some at a much slower pace, not overwhelming. but also there's a benefit of having something to sell, right? And so what they're doing is called super blocks. And so super blocks are something that will be, of course, through Beachbody On Demand Interactive. And what that will be is for the month, they'll take the trainer of a program that was a super hit program like 21 Day Fix, and they will be 21 Day Fix, similar type workouts and structure. So you're like, oh, I loved Shaun T's Insanity. Okay, well, bring all your Shaun T Insanity people, and there will be 5 workouts a week for 3 weeks plus a restorative week in that month. And you can sell T25 all over again, or Insanity all over again, or 21 Day Fix all over again for that super block. And for the super block, there's 3 ways to get access to it. One will be people pay $29 to get access to the super block. So for that program of the month. The second way is if somebody buys a total solution pack, it will unlock the super block for the following month. And then the third way is if people are continuing on a qualified home direct order of at least 90 PV. So it could be Shakeology, it can be Recover and Energize, could be Beach Bars, but to help retention, right? So what's really cool about that is they announced and shared a screenshot, I'll share that with you guys, of the entire calendar for the next year. So we already have the calendar for the next year, and it will start off in March. And then, and the first one in March is called For Beginners Only. And it's a new kind of theme one with, help me, Lacey, right? Lacey, is it Lacey Green? Is that, yeah, okay. And so she's on one of the BODI trainers. If you guys are on Body, you'll recognize her. So that one is going to kind of get us started. And that one is available for everybody. So everybody will have the chance to see what a super block feels like, starting off with Lacey. That one will be free. Then everybody who buys a total solution pack in the month of March will have access unlocked for April. April's will be 21 Day Fix. Okay. So it'll be 21 Day Fix workouts, but done live 5 days a week. Autumn went on stage and talked about what her plan is. And she goes, I'm still going to do cardio, but I'm going to do cardio and core, or it was core and cardio and core together. She'll still have a Pilates day, upper and lower strength. Those were going to be her 5 day a week. Is that correct, Erin? Is that what you remember as well? I saw you unmute.
Yeah, she was actually, when she was talking about that, she was talking about the healthy obsession.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, so they'll do 5 days a week though, with the body blocks, and then they'll have the restorative week. And what's just really great about this is people who are staying on their product are going to have access to these super blocks, right? So it's going to really encourage retention. And then if someone's like, I really didn't want, Shakeology, I'm taking a break, they can still unlock it for $29. So kind of leading with that, you have something always still to sell every single month, but you know ahead of time what it is. And it just really encourages that reoccurring sticking on your products, and really incentivizes people when they get their total solution pack. So also with this, let's say someone buys their total solution pack in March, they automatically get the April super block unlocked. And then let's say they go on hold for a month, they would not have the May one unlocked, but then they get back on their product, then the June one would be unlocked. So it will just show as locked or unlocked. After 6 months, then those will be added to the user library after a 6-month period. So, looking forward, just strategy wise, you can be like, I have no idea. I haven't really thought this through fully, but you have the bandwidth for this. You might do 2 different challenge groups or something of just, here's all only super block babes, this is my super block babes. Like, this is my challenge group for only people doing the super blocks. And then a challenge group for all of your BOD members or, body members, whatnot. So there's some couple different ways that you could really do that, but it really simplifies things. And they also are really focusing on simplifying things with a new recommended starter pack. And there still will be other options as I understand it. So don't hold me to that specifically, that there will still be other challenge pack options. But the recommended one is going to be one that includes the body annual subscription and also 20 servings of Shakeology and 20 servings of Energize. And what their strategy and reasoning behind that is, again, going to research of when people put Shakeology on hold, the number one reason is not that they don't like it or price or anything, is that they have too much. So it goes along with the body blocks of 5 days a week that, people may be using their Shakeology 5 days a week, want people to use it daily, but that's just kind of what ends up is what's happening. So they'd get 20 servings of that, and, they'd be using Energize 20 times a week with a current kind of body block of 5 workouts a week. So they get 20 servings of that as well. And then to help people kind of simplify with nutrition, there will be some videos that cover the basics, kind of the basics of the 2B mindset, the basics of the portion fix. There still would be the opportunity to pay and unlock the full thing. But that gives them the basics to get started, and they would have the containers within that box. I did include a picture in the team page in a thread that shows a screenshot of the box. And so they're going to have the packaging all cute. That was just like an example. They're still finalizing the details of that, but I think that's also really exciting. So again, it just kind of simplifies that, like, Erin made a great point. She's like, when I got started, I did 21 Day Fix, and I sold 21 Day Fix for 2 years. And it was just, this is what you do. This is how you get started. Instead of like every few months, it's like, okay, this is how you get started. And a few months later, now this is how you get started. And a few months later, oh, now you get started this way. And we're constantly relearning what the IT bundle is, right, to sell, and how, like, you guys can handle that. Like, you guys are your leaders, you're up with it. But our new coaches are like constantly like, oh, I took a break for a few months. Now I have no clue what the bundle is that I'm supposed to know and promote. So this really also simplifies things of like, this is what you do. And it gives you access to these body blocks, and just stay on your product and keep doing all these different body blocks with me. And, every Monday is when they will start. It was the first Monday of the new month is when those body blocks will begin. So you have that strategy of, I will have my group go first Monday to first Monday in the 4-week period, and kind of gives you that rhythm that you can know what to expect. Other things that were just important. Are you guys good with this recap, or do you feel like this is a waste of your time? And it's okay, I'm not offended if you're like, no, I like this, or like, oh, let's talk about something else. A few people comment or unmute, so I know if you're disengaged.
No, I was there and I still need it. Like,
yeah.
It was so much.
It was a lot. And that's why I didn't go live like I was initially planning, because I was like, I needed to review it myself too. So, okay. The other big thing that just is a shift that's happening in the network is with the change to the name is Carl talked over and over again about what he's terming health esteem. And he brought in these 2 marketing specialists that were talking about it's important to not try to compete in a sphere, but to create your own sphere. And I'm like, I know this is why Carl is doing this, right? And how he's like, I don't want to compete with other health and network marketing companies or other health and fitness businesses. I want to be my own business. Like, we're going to create our own sphere, and our own sphere is health esteem. We're going to be the only company that's talking about the well-being of your mind, the wellness of like loving who you are, and like embracing health and like exercise and healthy eating, and like balanced eating from a place of self-love and not from a place of self-hatred. And we're going to call this health esteem, where it feels good to be you. Like the focus is not on getting into a smaller pant size or losing weight, a specific number. The focus is on how can you feel good? How can you feel good in the body that you have and love who you are? And so this whole focus is health esteem. And they're really bringing in the mindset training. And so there's a couple cool things that are really going to happen with that. And one of them is he's changing a lot of the marketing to say, we eat dessert daily, enjoy your dessert daily. Okay. So you're going to hear that a lot, maybe sometimes a little obsessively, because Carl can get obsessed about things. Eat dessert daily is Shakeology. So he's like, we're going to really focus on all of the different cool recipes that you can make with Shakeology and enjoy your dessert daily. We want you to eat your dessert daily. So that's what that is Shakeology. Another one is there's going to be more mindset training and focus added to body, and also just in the culture and climate of our business. Now, there's a really incredible fitness expert, Petra something. Erin, you please comment. I know you know who.
Kolber.
Petra. Okay. Now, I hadn't heard of her before, but she was the instructor of instructors. Like, she is the group instructor guru for the last several years. So all of the Christine Dwyer and Janelle Summers and all of them were like, yeah, we've been following her for 30 years. And me, myself, I've never heard of her, but she is the top of group instructors and led that, like always the fitness expert that would be on the TV interviews and whatnot. Well, a few years ago, she wrote a book, and let's see if I can find the photo of what that is called, about perfection, the perfection diet, or like ditching perfection and something of that nature, of releasing the idea of perfection. And she has really focused on what we're calling health esteem. Like, that has been her focus for the last 15, 20 years. As she shifted from this focus of being the fitness expert, she's like, I want to talk about what really matters, which is what a lot of us, I feel, on this team have already focused on, which is the health of your inside, right? And the health of how you feel. And she has focused so intensely on that. And Carl just got on call with her as someone recommended her as someone to talk to, and had no intentions of offering her a job or anything. He was thinking, maybe I'll just get her to come speak at an event. Well, on that call, he offered her a job. So now she works for Beachbody, and she is leading up the mental makeover of the culture and the climate of Beachbody. And so you will see her now in that within Beachbody. And I don't really know exactly what that's going to look like. That wasn't 100% clear, but there's going to be a lot of focus on your well-being. How do you feel? And so some of the examples that they did share is on the Body app. They are going to have you check in each day with a vibe check and be like, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What's your vibe? And if you say, I'm doing good, it will not hold you back, will instantly take you to your workout, so you have a chance to just get moving with your day. If you're saying, I feel a little stressed, they will maybe recommend this meditation to do, or this a mantra. I don't really fully know, but they were just saying that there's going to be some prompts and guides based upon how you check in with your vibe, but that the focus will be, how are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? And that is what matters most. Not, okay, log in your weight each day. Okay, and now go do your workout. But what is your vibe? How is your vibe? Let's do an inner check on how you're feeling. And so that's some of the ways that it's going to be implemented into the business moving forward. And there will be a lot more resources available for us to use with our clients to support them to feel good on the inside and have that mental makeover. I will tell you, I personally feel like pretty much all of you here, right? Because none of you are new. I feel a lot of us get into the business wanting to lose weight, and we have stayed because of the mental makeover. So for a lot of you, and how I feel is, oh, great, this is already what I've been doing, but now I'm going to have more resources. And now the business and the climate of the culture is going to be supportive of that. Like, and corporate will be online with that, with their marketing, which is going to only support me, right? That it won't be me alone all by myself talking about the mental changes that we'll have, right? So I just think that's really cool that there will be more harmony in that. And the climate of the business is going to change, and it will be more aligned with, like, I want you to feel good, and I want to make sure that you're doing good inside and out. So that's a really cool thing happening as well. And then trying to think as far as clients go, just any other changes you need to know for them. And I think those are pretty much the main things, just the body blocks. Things are shifting into it. And there's a culture shift happening here of health esteem. And if you look at the last few posts Carl's been making, he's talking about that. And him going live in the Beachbody Champions page is talking about that. And exactly, yes. Because what has kept you in it is you're like, I don't necessarily care about losing weight now, but I'm here because of the mental shift that this is shifted for me. And so, yes, now we'll have the climate and the culture of the business to back it up. Okay. Now changes for us in the business as far as shifts that are happening with that. There are some changes that are happening to kind of, again, make things more simple for us, and also to just support the culture of not being necessarily so stressed and nitpicky about the small little details. So I'm just looking at my screenshots on my phone here and identifying which ones I need to make sure I go over. Okay, so the fourth week of the super blocks will look like they're actual workouts with their trainers or doing your own thing. Great question. So it will depend on the super block, because some of them have already told us, like, I'm going to have 2 workouts that week, and then I'll direct you to which workouts within body to go do, right? Like, so you may not see Amoila. Actually, I don't know if he's doing any of the body blocks. I think there's a 645. There's a lift more, there's a job one. Well, so you may not see Shaun T doing a Pilates workout for you and yoga workout. So instead he may be like, okay, go do this one, and this one for that week. So the 4th week of restorative will be up to that trainer, and it will be different. Okay. Okay, the changes within business. So there are some changes happening with the Success Club points. So we have all been like, retention matters, but it's not been supported by recognition a whole lot, right? Now that is changing. So there's going to be a new way to earn Success Club points. So when you have, so let me just look at this, make sure I word this in the best way. This is my first time repeating it to someone else, so forgive me if I stumble through this. If you have a customer or a preferred customer who has not ordered in the last 90 days, and they place a new order, the volume of that cumulatively, so not just per customer, cumulatively for all of those people, if it reaches 90 PV, you will get 1 Success Club point. Now, again, I'll repeat that. Preferred customers and customers, not coaches. Preferred customers and customers who have not ordered in the last 90 days. When they do place an order, the volume of their order cumulatively up to 90 points will create 1 Success Club point. Now, that means if you have, let's calculate this out, 90 times, let's see, 90 times 5. So you could also have, what was it, about 600 volume points coming from multiple different people. You can technically hit Success Club 5 just from that alone. So if you have 1 point from a cumulative 90, 1 point from another cumulative 90, this and this and that. Now it's all within 1 month. So that will not roll over, meaning like, oh, I had almost enough for 5 points, but really only got 4. And then this remaining amount carries over to the new month. No. Just within 1 month. So I'm looking at.
I had one question on that because my coaches were asking, and I was like, I didn't catch that. Did they have to be, was it just the volume or did they have to be on HD?
So it's just with the volume, not with, great question. Not with HD. It's just the aggravated. Oh, wait. And I said the wrong number. Not 90, 125. 125, okay? So, yes. So 125. So it would have to be 125 times 5. So 625 volume points from like inactive coaches ordering or like that, then reordering, then you would get 1 Success Club point. That's kind of huge, right? Like that is, to me, I'm like, boom, that is freaking awesome to not feel that it's always just, I have to always get these new, but helping you see that, reaching back out to the people that you already have that have maybe fallen off track. Of course, we've always known it's worth it. Of course, we've known financially it is worth it. You get that reoccurring, the commissions and bump in your volume. And now that will be supported in recognition, which I just love. So I'm very, very grateful. And that is a huge shift and wonderful thing. So just again, that's 125 PV aggravated cumulative, which means that they'll look at the entire month as a whole. It doesn't have to be all in 1 week. It doesn't have to be all from one customer. So that's a very huge shift in how we can earn Success Club. It will be the same thing that they have as it is with the total solution packs. They're still going to earn the 2 Success Club points or any supplement order with at least 90 PV is still going to be 2 Success Club points. So all of that will stay the same. Make sure you're aware that subscriptions generated from leads don't earn Success Club points. Maximum of 2 Success Club points every customer, every rolling 6 months. All of those rules are staying the same. And if a coach signs up or a preferred coach signs up, they have to order a challenge pack within the first 31 days to get points from them. All of those things are the same. None of that's changed, but just kind of going over those rules again. Okay, just making sure I answer any questions that are showing up in chat. Okay, the other thing, I'm just looking at these slides and making sure I have, okay. The other thing that's shifting is the reward program with the prizes. So this one, I think we're all gonna be like, yes, thank you. Because how many times people have been like, great, you give me a backpack. What I really wanted was just cash, like just give me money, And I know on the Superstar threads, we've all been like, listen, please take the money from me in some way and find a way to recognize these new coaches or people who are, Success Club All-Star Legends for the first time and just so there's going to be some shift happening. Now, for first-time Success Club earners, they will earn a wear and share item. That will shift and change throughout the years, whatever, shirt, I don't know. They will handle that. So your new clients coming in, the first time that they earn Success Club, they'll get a wear and share item. Then now, in the past, we've had each year, they've been like, after 3 months, this is what you'll get. After 6 months, 9 and 12. Now, this is only going to be for newer coaches enrolled in 2022 or 2023. Or if they joined in 2021 and have never hit Success Club. So all of your coaches who signed up this year and all of the coaches you will sign up next year, and all of those 2021 coaches that you signed up who didn't do anything, this applies to them, okay? After they've hit Success Club for 3 months, they will get $50. 6 months, they will get $75. 9 months, it will be $100, 12 months, $125 bonus. So no longer a prize of I'll spend $100 on a suitcase. It's, I would love to give you cash. So yay, I think that's awesome. Now, Aaron and I both were like, okay, that's awesome for them. What about me? Like, I would like to also get a reward for hitting Success Club consecutively. So here's what they are doing is that they're calling it the Success Club Executive Opportunity. And no, Scotty, it's only for, I have the slide right here. That is for coaches enrolled in 2022, 2023, join date of 2021 who did not achieve Success Club. So that is for the 3 months, $50, 75. So I'll share these slides with you guys so you can see. Okay, for all of you guys as the leaders, here's what you can do. By hitting Success Club 5, at least 11 months, so you don't even have to be perfect, at least 11 months in the calendar year. And the second qualification of this is you have 10 Success Club qualifiers from your eligible PS. So the boat of people who can earn the cash rewards, you have 10 of your coaches throughout the entire year who qualify, okay? So you could have one builder who qualifies for 10 months in a year. You could have 2 people who qualify for 5 months in the year. So just a total of 10 people who are earning Success Club that are 2022, 2023, or first-time 2021 coaches. They have 10 of those throughout the year. You earn at least Success Club 5, only 5 for 11 months. You will get a $1,000 bonus. That's pretty cool. Show me the money. Now, what's also cool, right? Like I have a new builder right now, and she's like on fire. That she can earn like next year. She's a 2022 coach. Next year, she can earn the 50, the 75, the 100, 125, and the $1,000 bonus, right? So the $1,000 bonus is also for new coaches getting started. That like if they're building a team and helping their coaches hit Success Club, they'll also get that $1,000 bonus. So that to me is, I'm like, yes, I will miss my logo apparel that I have accumulated over the years and my little knickknacks that I have, like my phone holder I'm using right now that has a imprint of Team Beachbody. I'll take the money instead. So I think that is awesome. Any questions on those changes with Success Club? And I am sure that they will as well. Random stuff probably in Team Comp months. They'll probably do stuff with that. They always find random, Carl's always like finding a random way to give you a mug.
Carl loves to just put the name on things and give it to people. So yeah. I'm sure we will still get things, but I agree. Yeah. Show me the money.
Well, and another thing too is if they're stopping all this apparel and all the fun little things, like we have a new name now, like we need our new name on the things. So I hope he does a little bit just here and there for like random, like Team Cup stuff.
Well, and they'll probably like even more so than you'll go buy it at Summit, you know, like you'll have stuff that I'm sure they'll have it in the online office, right? Like we have apparel that we can buy. And that's a really great, then, you know, gift you can give to a new Emerald or something, right? The other change that is happening within the coach side of things is within Road to Elite. So what they're just, and this is all kind of stemming from, they can see that a lot of coaches started in 2021, but didn't do anything. Like just that aftermath of, the backwind of COVID, you know, and kind of like a lot of people joined, but then felt overwhelmed and didn't do anything. So what they're going to do is for, as it is now, it would be your current year and the prior year as regards to who is earning Success Club points that then give you elite points. So what they're doing, it will still be kind of the same. that 2022 and 2023 coaches, but also they're going to say if someone joined in 2021 and they didn't do anything, so if they've had no prior Success Club qualification, they never hit Success Club before, then they can count towards your elite points. So if any of you guys have those 2021 coaches that had a failure to launch, they, will count towards your elite points next year. And you understand that, like, when your new PS coaches hit Success Club, you have their point, them hitting Success Club gives you 1 elite point. If you also hit Success Club, you get another point matched. So that's 2 points, right? When they hit Success Club. And it used to just be the current year and the prior year. Now it's current year, prior year plus 2021 if they had not done anything yet. Okay. Questions on that? Okay. When you enter the super body block, do you get t-shirts for the program or body? That's a great question, and I will find out. That was not addressed. So let me make a note really quick, or I'll just take a picture of your question and I'll get back to you. Okay. The other thing in regards to elite is in leadership ranking. So, you earn elite the same way, nothing changing as far as that, except for you have more coaches can qualify for the Success Club aspect of things. And if you weren't aware, with the Road to Elite, you have to have that 105 points for elite, 75 for premier, but also they rank all of the elite coaches. So right now we have a coach in the top 50 on this call, Kimberly Reyes, 43. Correct me if I'm wrong, but she is number 43 within the network, which right now, which is incredible, amazing, whoop whoop, for sure. So how they've calculated that is they're not just looking at her elite points, they're also looking at leadership ranking points. And so you earn ranking points that don't go towards that 105. Instead, they say, if you have developed a new team builder, you get so many ranking points. If you now develop a new team leader, which means that it's the first time that they hit team leader, or it's the first time they hit premier or elite, you get X amount of leadership points. They're just doubling what the current amount is. So next year, you will have 40 ranking points for builders, 60 points for new team leaders, 80 points for new premier coaches, 100 ranking points for new elite leaders, and 20 points for new PS success starters. So they're just putting a higher weight on it, saying like, it really matters to us because it shows a more sustainable business for you in your income, a greater foundation in sustainability. And we want to make sure that we're rewarding that for that reason. And so, yes, leadership is based off of rank. You got to get that in there. So first time of each year, no, it's the first time that they hit it. So like, let's say one of my PS coaches has hit team leader already. When they hit team leader, I do not get ranking points for that. If it's the first time they hit premier, then I would, right? So that's what the ranking points are referring to. So those are the changes, and that's it. Yes, I wasn't fully intending to do a recap. Otherwise, I would have presented slides for you guys. Questions, thoughts, feelings. Feel free to unmute.
I have a question. I was telling somebody, yeah, we changed our name, who they're not even really active in it, but they're like, so if it changes to body, what does that stand for? I was like,
yeah,
is it still Beachbody On Demand Interactive?
Yeah.
Like,
so
are they going to come up with new?
So I asked that question too, and it didn't get answered. And then the next day, another coach asked it again. It still didn't get replied to by corporate. But I saw Janelle kind of make a post that she's like, I'm telling my people that it stands for Beachbody, like Body On Demand Interactive. And but then I also someone say like, I just think it's not going to be an acronym anymore. So you have people wondering the same thing, and corporate has not given an official answer on that. So we will see. Doug told us today on a call this morning that there's going to be a few changes that you see, like the Beachbody Champions page, that group. Within Facebook, you cannot change the name of the Facebook group if it's over X amount of people. I think it was like 20,000 people or something like that. So Carl's like, it's really important to him to completely eliminate all of that. So there will likely be a new Facebook group that they'll like then create all the new people, which in my mind, I think that's really great. Carl was like, I mean, Doug said that because we were looking at there and there's like 3,000 people from India in that group. So it's like very obvious that it's not just current coaches in that group. So we'll probably be starting fresh unless they can get a hold of, they are trying to find a connection at Facebook to make an exception. But so there'll be a little bit of a nuance with that. There is all going to be like official come March, you know? So this idea of people being like, I'm no longer a Beachbody coach. Well, you are until March, because they're just kind of giving us that heads up. So it's not like overnight. But yeah. Okay. All around, I'll tell you guys, I like am really excited about the shifts that are happening. I kind of confided in Aaron and Lauren at leadership that I was like, for me, it doesn't feel like a huge total significant, like, oh, now I need to change everything that I'm doing. Because I think for a lot of us, it's already been the internal focus that we have most appreciated. I know for me personally, that's 100% true, is the mental shift that I noticed being a part of this company and culture has been by far much more significant to me than any number I saw on the scale. And so that part of it, I'm like, oh, it doesn't feel like this huge, big old significant change. Also, I didn't ever feel triggered necessarily by the word Beachbody, because to me, it was just a matter of promoting people to feel confident on the beach, right? Like just how many people were like, I just want to feel confident when I get in a swimsuit. And to me, it was never a like that equals a number on a scale or something, but just a symbol of confidence to me is how I always internalize that. But I am very excited still to not have something that could be a trigger for people and have to explain that to them. I just think that's going to be really grateful, really a positive thing. And to create a new sphere that does not exist, health esteem, and that it's going to also just be so simple. Like that is, I think, the number one thing I'm most excited about is the body blocks and the simplification of, we know what bundle to promote. We know exactly what the launches are all year round. And I know exactly how to train my coaches on what to do. Is this is a program that you sell. Here's the block that you focus on all year long. Like we, we'll have to figure out what we want to do with the Beachbody Insider info page. Like, or we just release it. I don't know if that's fully working out in the intention that we all had when we created that. We'll have to kind of see on that. But kind of the need for that in some ways of having a launch group is going to be irrelevant, which is, I think, very liberating and exciting, and will just simplify things in a really big way. And I love that we are now having that support recognition wise on like, hey, you're going to be rewarded for retention. And also that retention is unsupported by the body blocks, like the super blocks. So not body blocks specifically, is body blocks will be for everybody within body, but the super blocks where it's a 21-day fix themed super block and so forth, again, just really supports the idea that retention matters. Like, I think that's really liberating. And I love the cash rewards of like, I just feel corporate has listened to us and responded. And I so appreciate that. PV for unlocking the super blocks. So if they pay Yes, because if they pay, there will be a PV allotment with that for the $29 that they pay. I don't know what the PV is, so we'll find out.
I have a couple questions. I guess I could put my video on. I look like, let's see, hold on, sorry. Okay, hi, I'm here. Okay, so my customers like are upgrading, and the number one question that I get about BODi is that, oh, are the workouts recorded? I can't get on them live. Like everybody thinks that these workouts are live. Is there some way that they like get it across so you don't have to be there at 6 a.m. or at 7 a.m.? Like, I think that that's the, like one of like a big thing that's holding people back from upgrading or even understanding what BODi is about. We're all trying to talk about it. They don't get it. Like they think it's only live workouts. So I don't know if they talked about that part of it at all.
They didn't. And I don't know if that is just a matter of like us adjusting how we're talking about it, you know?
Right.
So the more that I heard was one of the people that they brought in to talk about the BODi blocks. And he's like, when I first was introduced to this, because I didn't realize that like the trainer could see us, and until he called somebody out and was like, hey, work on this in your form. So I think more people misunderstand that it's interactive, that like that was recorded 2 days ago, you know, like, and the trainer can see you and interact with you. And it was cool to hear Autumn kind of talk about that when they did 80-day obsession. She goes, we made sure that everyone in the cast was like prime physical peak, you know, like they could sustain an hour-long workout for 80 days and that like they'd be able to keep up. And she goes, but with that, then these people weren't showing form issues or like they weren't tapping out, you know, in these exercise moves. And she goes, so I ended up doing it myself. So then I could recognize that, oh, I can feel my body want to start to do this. And so I know what cues to give. And so she goes, I just really appreciate these live interactive workouts so that I can see what do people need the cues on. And whereas that's been a struggle in filming prior programs, and now you really get that with the interactive thing. So I think it's just a shift of making sure that we talk about like, it's yes, live workouts, but it's a BODi block. There's like workouts that are live and recorded and up there in the platform and held in reserve. There's just multiple workouts. So definitely.
And you did say like 6 months after, if they don't pay for it, it's going to be in the library anyways. That's because I got that from some customers. So I think that's good.
Yeah.
And then the bike pricing, like, did they talk about that at all? Like, are they going to keep with this for a while? You know, like, I feel like the bike pricing has really been like all over the place over the past year and a half. Are they trying to keep it like one price, one deal? Or are they going to continue doing like, you know,
so
Black Friday or?
They didn't mention anything as far as the price of buying the bike. No, that wasn't addressed. So.
Okay. And then the other question that I had, transformations, you know, with the Beachbody Challenge and everybody submitting before and after, and now they're just like, we're not going to do before and after anymore. That's not a thing anymore. So, and I noticed I did a lot of research on the BODi blocks, even though I haven't been doing them like over the past 48 hours, there's already a BODi block culture. There's a lot of people out there doing BODi blocks. And so every month they're entering into the Beachbody Challenge after they do their BODi block and submitting results or whatever. So are they going to keep that, or is that part of the culture going away of Beachbody or BODi?
So that's a question that we asked and we don't have the answer on it yet. I just got off a call this morning with like they do a call for superstars every Monday morning, and we asked that to Doug, and I'll tell you what he said. He goes, I think Carl wants to get rid of it. And all of us were like, no, like that's, to me, I was like, that's one of my favorite things about Summit. I love the Beachbody Challenge. Because I think they shared the story and show that it wasn't just a number on the scale. And they share like the emotional changes that happen. I always get emotional. I love them. I love like hearing how this truly just completely changed a person's life. And I have like goosebumps right now, even just thinking about it. I always come back being like, I need to make sure I share this with more people. And this is doable for anybody. Like, so fired up from just seeing the Beachbody Challenge results at nighttime. I'll tell you guys, like, I watched the summit, like all of the recordings because I couldn't attend live. I watched all of them, and no offense, I did fast forward through the recognition. I did not fast forward any part of the Beachbody Challenge. Like, I made sure to watch every single one of those stories because I love them so much. And, we just kind of pointed out, like, but Doug said Carl out behind stage was like, I hate this. Like, last year at Summit, he's like, I hate that there's 4 people going home feeling like a loser when they all are like winners. He's like, that there's only 2 people recognized and celebrated. And he's like, so Carl doesn't like him, and Carl wants to move away from it. And we were all kind of like, okay, great. So Carl can see that he's been over on this side of the pendulum. Let's be careful it doesn't swing over here and just be like there's zero value in a before and after, because that's not accurate. And I think it's just an adjustment and not a swing all the way over here. So I can hear on from the CAB members that they're giving that feedback. So it's undetermined right now. I think they're still trying to figure that out, and they're getting the feedback to keep it, I think, from CAB, but I don't know. So we will see kind of what happens there.
Okay. And then my last question was per success starter.
Before you ask that question, Kim, before you ask, can I just add in? I don't remember who it was up on the panel, but she didn't call it a before and after. She called it a
journey or something, right?
Then and now. And I loved that. And I feel like we can totally go like a then and now picture, because that doesn't mean like before and after forever. It just means like, this is where I'm at now.
Yeah.
And I progress to make, whether it's mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever. So I really like that. So I feel like if we just kind of reword it, but Carl did say like, however you represent your business, whether it's before and after, is like, you can choose for you, Kim. So
and they're like journey photos is what some of the superstars were calling. They're like, we call these our journey photos. And I was like, I like that.
But is there anything we could do to like also, I know we're not on CAB or anything, but is there anything that in general the coaches, the network, or could do to say that, we're okay with changes? But I think, like you're saying, if we go too far of completely, because it's if anybody were to attend a Beachbody Challenge video or show, nobody walks away thinking, wow, that's just their body. Yeah. It's their entire life is changed by the weight that it's like, who says it? Autumn, somebody says it. It's not about the weight you lose, it's the life you gain. And I think about that every time. And probably between 10 and 15 pounds, maybe you don't have a huge shift in your life, whatever, but people who are losing 200 pounds, like Brigitte, the lady who comes to all of our Super Saturdays, and she's lost like literally it matters. And I think it's dumb to take away. I think it's dumb. That's my big adult word. I think it's dumb to take away. I get it with having the value of it all. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this team because we're already there. I mean, all of us are already there about talking about the insides. We're like, welcome to the show, Carl. We've been doing this for 2 years. Like we've been doing this, but also my before and afters are valuable to me for babies and things like that. So anyways, I'm just rambling.
Well, and I will just remind everyone that like, we get to do it however it feels good to us. So like, I mean, I hope they don't get rid of the Beachbody Challenge, but regardless, keep sharing your before and after photos. Keep talking about them. Keep sharing. That was I don't think it's a trigger word to use, before and after. Keep sharing your then and now. Keep sharing your journey photos, like, and encourage people to take them and share them. Like, I don't feel that even if Carl chooses not to share them, that you don't have to. So, or that you can't. So I know I already watched some coaches share on social media recaps and their feelings about the weekend and whatnot. And I heard one of them saying, we're getting rid of them. And I'm like, where did you hear that? Like, I was at the same thing. I didn't hear that. But for her specifically, she may have been triggered by them. And to her, she's like, takes that as a permission to not use them. So whatever feels good to you, like, I think I love the anatomy that we have, the self-anatomy. I don't hope that's the right phrase to use, that we have within Beachbody to run businesses in the way that feels good to you and to do what you like. And so you've always had that permission. And that's why I don't make a call like this mandatory. I don't make team calls mandatory. Like, you have the anatomy to manage yourself, and you still always have the permission of that. And the shifts that happen within Beachbody are just the climate change, but you get to be wherever you want to be, like in alignment or outside of that. And you always have, and you continue to. Kimberly, you had another question?
Just one more on like success starters and earning, into test groups. Will those now they'll earn into like a Body Block, and then they'll be on the podcast kind of deal maybe, or did they not talk about that either?
They didn't. And that's a great question. So I'm going to make a note to ask about Success Club starters. What will be their reward? Mm-hmm. Because I don't know if it will be in the Super Block cast. Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. If that will be what it is. Could be something else. I don't know.
Okay. When would you expect like all of this to come out in FAQs, where it's all like written down and like we could like really, so that, because sometimes I get scared sharing to like other than like people on our level, like I don't want to mess it up, like I feel like you probably feel comfortable saying to us that we're not going to go back and be like, oh, Brigitte said this, blah blah blah, but like I'd rather have it like really written out so that I don't mess it up and say the wrong thing.
Yeah. And that like was a self reminder I kind of gave to myself, and I'll give it to you guys this morning, is that like we have until March. Like, and this is not a overnight thing, and you need to hurry and catch up on like all the things that are changing right now. That's not how this is. So I also just think everyone can take a deep breath and kind of just be like, I will find out everything I need to at the exact appropriate time. I'm not going to be left behind. I am not late to the game on any of this, even though I'm finding out after everyone who was at leadership. Like, there's definitely like, I think, sometimes as leaders, we're like, we have an urgency to like be in the know, and just know, like, I kind of felt that myself like yesterday as I was getting questions that I didn't have the answer for. And I was like, I was there, like, and I need to re-listen to stuff. I am good friends with Trina Gray, who's on CAP. And so she was a part of like asking the million questions. So I'm happy to pass along any questions to her, or if any of you guys, feel you can, of course, any of you can message her yourself too. I'm not an in-between or a gatekeeper to her by any means. So, but she's a really great resource. You can just say, hey, I'm in the network. If you feel uncomfortable messaging her, I'm happy to. But she's one that I've noticed answering a lot of the detailed questions, because she's very detail oriented and has been a part of like understanding this in CAB. And so I just noticed the superstar thread, she's the one who's super, super helpful. So she's a great resource on detailed questions. I can ask her, but also we have time to work at this all out. So I don't know, they didn't announce when those FAQs, I expect sometime this week that they'll have things written down and shared. I know Carl went live in the champions page yesterday to kind of share that vision. I would just make sure you keep getting on the national wake up calls, because I know that they'll continue talking about that. And then I would just anticipate that, they're trying to figure out the Facebook group thing on like being able to change the name, or if they're creating a new one. Like, I think that's their first priority, is figuring out what they have to do. And then I'm sure they'll have a whole amount of training around the changes and whatnot. It's typically in November that we have all of the details for the next year regarding elite requirements and any changes that happen in this recognition program. So Success Club, those things of that nature. So I anticipate in November, it's kind of when that typically happens every year, that we'll have all of the different data and cute PDFs and and videos from corporate to there and then share. But this is the beginning of October. And so we have 90 days to make sure we understand it before it's applicable as far as the recognition program come January. And we have October, November, December, January, February, March, 6 months to make sure we understand body blocks and the merge of that. And so like, if you're like, oh my gosh, I feel overwhelmed, deep breath, you're good. And we're all figuring this out together. And I appreciate that heads up. I'm like so grateful for that they're not like, hey, this is happening next week. And then it's going to be, whoa, shit, you know, instead it's, you got 6 months to figure this out. And, oh, absolutely. Super Weekend. Thank you for reminding everyone about that as well. That we have time for that. Yes. And the very first super block. So body blocks are happening now. Body blocks, you can get in there and see that now. The first super block will be March, and that one will be free for everyone who's a body subscriber. So everyone can get in, see what it's all about, how that kind of plays out. And that one will be free. And then the first paid one will be April. Yes, I will send you the super block schedule so that you can plan. I have someone took a screenshot, so it's a clear image versus my photo from the back of the room. I'll send it right now. Love these questions. Any others? So I just posted in our thread the super blocks that you can see. So you can see it is March. So January and February, they're just ramping up leading into that. And what is the one, Erin, Lauren, remind me of the one we sampled at leadership?
Sure Thing.
Sure Thing.
Thank you. So Sure Thing's launching in January. So
it launches December.
Sorry.
January, February to do it 8 weeks, right?
Yes. Thank you. Lauren, Erin, anything you guys want to add, just like how you felt being at leadership, coming back, just your feelings, emotions, or details I might have left off, like how you guys feel? What would you like to add?
I mean, you got it all. I feel good. If you want an emotion, I feel great.
Good.
Like I did not leave feeling like the company's going in the wrong direction by any stretch. I felt I think my biggest thing that they kept saying that kept I don't know, just really connecting with me was they said they were going back to simplicity. And that I don't know if you actually said this specifically about the body block, but my favorite thing about that is it's the 21-day fix mentality.
It is. Over
and over and over. And that 21-day fix was our record-breaking program. And I don't think anything's ever going to compare to that, because it is so simple and so effective. And so I love that they were like, how can we recreate that every single month, but keep it fresh? And I just think it's perfect. Like, I'm excited for the simplicity.
I think too, just this, like the super blocks and mentality of that is like a ongoing journey too. Of like, here's something fresh or this month, now this, and then not a lag in between where you're like, okay, I don't know what to do yet. Because even this year, where it's still been program after program after program, sometimes I've been like, well, I can't start this one yet, so I'll start it here. But then I miss this launch because I'm still doing this one. And then I'm like, okay, now I have a weird like 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks here before the next. So there's sometimes been even that confusion of like, what should I be doing right now? And this definitely kind of just takes away that guesswork of, and also supports the message that we have of this is an ongoing journey. Like you do this and then you do this, and it's not a start, stop, and like before and after end date, then figure out what to do next with your life. Like it just is an ongoing journey. Thank you. Erin, anything you want to add from?
No, I was going to say the whole 21 day fix thing. Like, I did sell it for 2 years and I hit Success Club 10 every single month. Like, it is so doable. And I know we're not all dealing with beginners all the time, but I feel like sometimes it's nice to just go back to the basics and keep it so simple. And it's something that we can recruit a lot of coaches with, I feel like, because it will be simple with the one hustler pack, and they're going to know ahead of time what to do, and they can keep doing the one that they're doing if they want, or they can move on to the next. And so I love that they have those options as well. So I feel like for me, my focus is like, let's recruit with the simplicity. It got so complicated there for a while, and the coaches who did their best and tried to run with it did awesome. But I feel like this is just going to be a game changer for all of our businesses.
Yeah. I shared in the team page, I know there was a lot posted in there over the weekend. And again, just deep breath, like no rush, no urgency here. And I hope you feel that there's no like hurry and understand all the things. There was a video that was shared in there from a panel that they did. And that was the one that I said, oh, hey, part of leadership was posted in the champions page. Check it out. It was a panel. And one of the things I just really appreciated from Julie, no, what's her name? The very first one he spoke, Tracy Morrow, is she goes, I think that there's a lot of people who have slipped into the shadows, and felt that there wasn't a place for them here. And this just helps remind people that it's not this all or nothing thing. And I mean, even this executive opportunity of them giving $1,000 is not requiring perfection. It's requiring an effort, and it's requiring investment in other people and an investment, in your own business. And just in a business, it's just let's make sure you feel good. And I've felt that this year in the programs that have been launched, like the 4-week gut protocol is huge. All focused in the messaging around, let's make sure you feel good. And I personally had more people engaged in that, join that program than I had of any other. Because I think the marketing of that was centered around, let's help you feel good. And just all of these programs that are not as intense, making sure that you feel good. And I'll tell you too, I just had to add this first thing, last thing. Okay. I haven't even bought that because, and I'll tell you, my personal reason is I feel really good right now. And I've been fearful that it would mess me up, and kind of throw me off. And I take all these supplements to support hormones and thyroid issues and things that I've been dealing with. So I take all these stuff, and they had it at leadership. And so I had it while I was there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I noticed a huge difference. I feel really good. And that was so cool for me to notice that I finally kind of research more of the ingredients. Sorry, I'm a late adjuster. I don't just jump on things real quick. So I researched the ingredients, and L-theanine, that's one of the things I take at lunchtime and at nighttime. That's in both first thing and last thing. L-theanine is something that our brain produces so we can manage stress. And I'm I have felt so good with L-theanine, adding that in. And then Pharma GABA is also in last thing. I also take that every night. It's in last thing. And then another one that was L-lidocaine is another one that's a stress thing. And anyways, all these things that I've been taking that I'm oh my gosh, anyways, that supplement, first thing, last thing, is so centered around, let's help you feel good. Have an internal transformation of not just a weight loss, but let's make sure you're functioning at your best. We have been given these programs and tools that are centered not on a physical before and after, but on an internal one. And I was just kind of really lit up about first thing, last thing, placed an order while I was there, my first order. So yeah, like yeah, and go ahead.
Brigida, do you remember the recipe? What was it was like cranberry sparkling water or something that was mixed with it. It was actually like doable. Like
so yeah, there were some other coaches who were like, oh, it's terrible, but this one that they had at leadership was good. Yeah, it was a cranberry sparkling juice that they would put it in. So it was still like a smaller amount, a shot, and it was good. And someone else who's under study, who was in a test group for first thing, last thing, was kind of sharing how she noticed that she needed to take it with her breakfast. So it was like she woke up, had her energized, did her workout, then would have her breakfast and have first thing with her breakfast. And I had first thing with my breakfast and didn't notice, like, I had a really great bowel movement, but I didn't like have issues that sometimes I had heard maybe people having. But yeah, I don't know as far as yeah, I think it's definitely an adjustment on figuring out the right dosage. You have like a half dosage, or figuring that out, like when you have it with a meal, or if you have it on empty stomach right before you go to bed, and those kind of things. More so just, you know, everyone can figure out like what's best for their body, but more so I was just like, this is cool to see that it's not all talk. It's not just like, hey, we're just going to do the messaging of how you feel good, but to look back and be like, they've been preparing for this and already giving us really cool things that support. Let's make sure you feel good. And first thing, last thing is part of that. The other thing that Carl is shifting with the messaging is replace bad energy with good, clean energy, or dirty energy. I'm sorry, dirty energy with clean energy, referring to, he doesn't want us like pointing out, you've got energize, we have bevy, you know, like these things that support healthy, clean energy and give you clean energy. And first thing, like giving you clean energy versus dirty energy that, yes, it gives you energy, but can also create maybe a toxin within your body that you're now also having to flush out or whatnot. So, you know, just be excited about the direction this company is going. It was kind of the message of this. And remember, you have a place here. You have a place here within this network, and it matters. It's something that you can go and share with your coaches, that there's a place for them here. And we're headed in a really empowering direction where there's nobody competing with us. Nobody is doing what we're doing and focusing on what we're focusing. And that's exciting. It's exciting to be a part of that, where no one else is going to have the support and resources to give people both the internal makeover, physical, energy, mental, all of the things that create the wholeness of what it means to be healthy, that we are going to be able to provide to people. And that, I think, is really exciting to be a part of that. And it will be done so in a way that's simple. So I am just appreciative of this company, proud to be a body coach, proud I get to do this with you guys. And if you have questions, concerns, like message me. And I think that's all for today. I didn't necessarily get to speak here what's working for you guys. So let's do another call and we can do more of a powwow session. That's it. Thanks for being here, guys. All right, see ya. Bye.
Wait, do we take a picture?
Yes, let's take a picture. All right, if anyone's able to put off the turn on camera, we'll do a photo. I'll do a screenshot first, and then we can do camera ones as well. I love it. Okay, we've got Crystal turning next to. But okay, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll do one with my phone also.
It spilled again.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I love it.
Sorry.
Okay, thanks you guys. I'll see you guys online. Bye.